Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the list of confirmed monsters that are going to be in Dragon Quest Monsters 3, The Dark Prince, on Nintendo Switch, coming out December 1st. This was posted by Koopless in the Dragon Quest Reddit forums, and here's all the rules here. The following is every currently known monster that is supposed to appear in Dragon Quest Monsters The Dark Prince. This list is not final, the game isn't out yet. We don't know every single monster just yet, but we know a lot of them. This list has every known one and everyone stated by reliable source. Please note that any monster with triple stars by their name are stated to appear in the game by a reliable source, which has had multiple other monsters it reported being in the game confirmed to actually be in the game. That being said, since I cannot find where they got their info, I'd like you to take these ones with a grain of salt, but chances are, they probably are indeed in the game. Monsters whose name have an NL next to it are currently not localized. We don't know what their English name is, so they're in the game, but there's no official localization for their name yet. Bonus, a handful of unknown monsters with only roughly translated names are also known to exist in the game. These monsters are not on the list because we have no idea anything about them, other than roughly translated English names. These monsters are Corone White, Skull Jellyfish, Silva Naga, Kumyaga, Slime Joker, King Joker, Dragon Pop, Dragon Abyss, Honey Eater, and Sky Seeker. So, needless to say, if you don't want any spoilers as to what monsters are going to be in Dragon Quest Monsters The Dark Prince, thanks for tuning in, and I'm glad that you support the videos. Also, if you want to support Dragon Quest videos on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn notifications to all so you won't miss the next ones. Alright, let's begin. So we've got the slime family we're going to start with here. Of course, the slime is going to be in the game. There's no reason why it wouldn't be. We got the she slime. This is kind of nice. They break it down like the first game it appeared in. Obviously Dragon Quest 1 for both the she slime and the slime. She slime was originally called the red slime, I believe. Shadow slime, first appearance Dragon Quest 8. First Dragon Quest Monsters appearance is this game, however. Strange that Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 1 was the first Monsters game that the she slime appeared in, but let's keep on keeping on here. Metal Slime obviously is going to be in here. Model Slime is a mainstay of the Dragon Quest Monsters series. Onion Slime is fairly new. First appearance was Dragon Quest Island. I feel like the first in-game appearance was Dragon Quest X though. And then this is the first Dragon Quest Monsters game that it's appearing in, because it's still a fairly new monster. Behemoth Slime was in Joker. We got the Behemoth Slime, which was also in Joker. Heel Slime, obviously, Dragon Quest 2 was its first appearance. Monsters 1 is the first Monsters appearance. Wing Slime was a Dragon Quest Monsters 1 original. We got the Box Slime, which is a classic from Dragon Quest Monsters 1. Buddy Slime, which, I don't know why it's called a Buddy Slime. Maybe because it's budding, I guess. It's not really budding, it's just shooting a little sprout up there. But anyways, Dragon Quest Monsters 1. Fright Bulb from Dragon Quest XI is going to be in here. Slime Stack, I know that's a fan favorite now, since Dragon Quest IX. It's going to be in here. It's the first monster appearance was Joker 2. Block O'Chalk, this was Dragon Quest X. I do recognize this guy. This is the first Dragon Quest Monsters game he's going to be appearing in, though. Same with the Dumpling Slime, which was apparently in Dragon Quest Monster Parade. I've never heard of that one, actually, and that's quite impressive because I've played pretty much every Dragon Quest game. I even played Super Light on mobile way back when that first came out. I think it's just wrapping up now, actually. It's been a while. It's been out for quite some time now. Bubble Slime, obviously, Dragon Quest 2, first appearance, Dragon Quest Monsters. Slick Slime from Dragon Quest XI is going to be in here. That's fantastic. I love that guy. Liquid Metal Slime. Slime Shroom from Dragon Quest X. Moldy Slime, which was called the Pickled Slime in Dragon Quest Tact. That's the first time I encountered it, was in Dragon Quest Tact, but I have encountered the Slime Shroom in Dragon Quest X. Sugar Star Slime, I thought it was Superstar Slime. In fact, it might be Superstar Slime, but I could be wrong. It was originally in Dragon Quest Monsters Caravan Heart, which is a game I'm terrified of, honestly. My buddy Fates did a playthrough of it, and I tried playing this game, and it just wasn't for me. Maybe I'll come back to it again someday, but it was a very bizarre game. The way I don't know if it was like the leveling or what it was, but you had to have like enough food and stuff like that to keep on keeping on. Anyways, it was a weird game, but yeah, it's gonna be in here, which is nice. There's actually a lot of monsters that I liked from Caravan Hearts that are gonna be making their first appearance outside of Caravan Hearts in this game. Some of them were in the demo even. So we got Shell Slime from Dragon Quest III, Snail Slime, Dragon Quest Monsters Joker was the first appearance? No way. Coal Slime from Joker 3. I never played Joker 3. I wasn't a big fan of the Joker games, I gotta be real. But I did love the remakes of Dragon Quest Monsters 1 and 2. And I loved Dragon Quest Monsters 1 and 2 back in the day. Scallop Slime from Dragon Quest Monsters 2. I'm probably saying this wrong. Gunache Goody. This is the first game with this guy in. It looks like I don't know if it's like a bread roll with chocolate in it. I'm not too sure what the heck. Some kind of a pastry. And then we got, like I said, Caravan Heart guy shown in this. Snow Mangler. I had this guy in the demo for the Dark Prince. I love this guy, man. He's a classic. Wild Slime. He was not called that, I don't think, in the original Dragon Quest Monsters. This one, it says, might not be in the game. Maybe it is called Wild Slime, actually. I remember naming mine Mike after my friend Mike, aka DG Online. He's one of the first, I think, bosses you fight in the original Dragon Quest Monsters. Feral Slime. So this is the first game he's in, but he's literally just a wild slime. In fact, I think the boss from Dragon Quest Monsters 1 was called Feral Slime. I could be completely wrong, though. Drake Slime, first appearance was Dragon Quest Monsters. Dragon Slime was in Dragon Quest 7. I remember that. Slime Knight was originally in Dragon Quest 5, where he really truly shined as your recruitable monster. Metal Slime Knight, who I always kind of secretly hate because they're tough as nails to beat, and you don't get EXP as if they were a metal slime. Spiny Slime from Caravan Heart. I don't remember this guy, but like I said, I never really played a whole lot of Caravan Heart. Rubble Slime was from the original Dragon Quest Monsters. I do remember that guy. Angel Slime, Dragon Quest Monsters 2. This guy's a classic now. Dark Slime was originally from Caravan Heart. This guy shows up in some of the later games. I had him in Dragon Quest Monsters Joker, I believe. King Slime, classic from Dragon Quest 4. So there's a lot of these King Slime variants from Dragon Quest 4. I didn't realize that the first appearance of the King Slime and all that was Dragon Quest 4, but it all makes sense now. Queen Slime from Dragon Quest 10. I felt like Queen Slime was around before that, but I'm probably wrong. King Cure Slime, Dragon Quest 4. I remember grinding on these guys because the same area I think you run into these guys is where you run into the have a potential to run into the Metal King Slime, and that's that. It's like that tower or whatever. I'm replaying Dragon Quest 4 right now in preparation for Dragon Quest Monsters 3: The Dark Prince, so I'll know for sure once I get near the end of that. Kremkara Slime. So this is from the Dragon Quest 8 3DS remake. I have never played the 3DS remake. I really need to do that. The problem is like it's really hard to stream 3DS games for you guys, and if I'm gonna play through a big ass JRPG, I'm gonna want to stream it and hang out with you guys while I do it. Anyways, he looks incredible. I love the look of him. King Bubble Slime, absolute classic from Caravan Heart. I made a couple memes about this guy. Not rated PG, so I'm not gonna say too much about them. And then we got Tar King. The name is not localized. He looks like poop. I love him, but he looks like poop. I made a meme of this guy as well. And then we got Dark King Slime, originally appearing in Dragon Quest Monsters Caravan Heart. Not localized. That's what his name was in that game. I've never seen this guy before in my life. Cyber Slime. So my mod, my bot, I guess I should say, on my Twitch stream is Slimeborg, which was what Cyber Slime's original name was back in the original Dragon Quest Monsters. I'm a little bit sad that his name has been changed to Cyber Slime instead of Slimeborg, because I thought Slimeborg was cool, a cool name. I love the look of this guy, because he looks like a cyborg, but he also kind of looks like he could be, in his original art, he looks like he could be a member of like the Borg from Star Trek, like if they assimilated a slime. Crystal Slime from Caravan Heart. We got Gem Slime from Dragon Quest Monsters. The Dragon Quest Monsters games go all out with the like variants of the slimes, like the Emperor slime. Like you get these big like jewel looking slimes and stuff. In fact, I think there is like a jewel slime that's like pink or something. I could be wrong. This guy actually showed up in Dragon Quest 7 though, but a lot of the mainline games don't have these fancy looking slimes in them, but the Monsters games always do. Gumulonimbus, this guy was revealed at the in the announcements for Dragon Quest Monsters The Dark Prince. This game is the first appearance of him. Shogun from Dragon Quest 9. Anyone will remember his ass from the grottos in that game. He was in Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 2, apparently. Lionheart, I love this guy. He is one of my favorite monsters of all time, and he appears originally in Dragon Quest 9. Grandpa Slime. This guy was in Dragon Quest Monsters 2. Master Slime from Caravan Heart. I do remember seeing this guy. I don't remember thinking he was very cool looking. On to the Dragon family, probably my favorite family of monsters in the Dragon Quest series. We got Small Fry, who everybody uses in their synthesis or breeding to make better dragons as the game progresses. Vigandragora was the new one that was shown off in the announcements for this game. Reptile from from Dragon Quest X. These guys will fuck you up. He was in the remake of Terry's Wonderland on the 3DS, though. I remember that. I never used him, but yeah, he'll mess you up pretty bad in Dragon Quest X. Same with Thunder Frog, who's just like a stronger version of him. Komodo, I never really liked the design of these guys. Again, another one of the monsters that I recruit those just so I can make some more powerful dragons later on. Nardragon from Dragon Quest Monsters Joker. Not a big fan of the design of Nardragon and Sabosaur, or Stabosaur, I should say. He's from Dragon Quest Monsters. Killer Gila from Dragon Quest 4. We ran into a couple of these guys in Dragon Quest X. They can be pretty tough, but I definitely remember them from Dragon Quest 4. Armored War Toys. These guys are, yeah, Dragon Quest 6 originally. It's always weird. There's like a lot of turtles in the Dragon family, but I love turtles too, so can't go wrong. Our Airbagon is originally in this game, but he's basically a spin-off of Gasbagon and Noble Gasbagon from Dragon Quest VI, who are also in here. Damselfly, these guys are super annoying to fight. They've got fire abilities, and they've got status effects out the ass. Dragonthorn, really cool design from Dragon Quest VIII. It's every time I see one of these guys, I'm reminded of Trodaine because of all the vines and stuff that encapsulate Trodaine in Dragon Quest VIII. Flython, these guys are pretty rough to face if you get poisoned and stuff like that. Green Dragon, that's literally my favorite monster of all time. Dragon Quest monster of all time. Love the Green Dragon. Glad he's going to be in here. So glad. You actually can encounter one in the demo. Dread Dragon, which was originally called the Red Dragon. And he's obviously from Dragon Quest 1. Serpent of the Scales. So this guy looks pretty cool. I don't even remember fighting him in Dragon Quest Heroes, but I only played Heroes once. I wasn't really like a big fan of the original Dragon Quest Heroes. I really love Heroes 2, but not a big fan of the first one. This guy looks badass though. I will definitely try to get me a Serpent of the Scales in this game. And this is the first game, Monsters game, that he's going to be appearing in. Drag Racer from Dragon Quest 7. These guys are super annoying in Dragon Quest 10. Tundra Dragon from Dragon Quest X, just a evolution or a spin-off of the Drag Racer. Jargon, I remember him in Dragon Quest VIII, fantastic boss. Briny Bronco looks like an alcoholic seahorse, to be honest, from Dragon Quest Monsters 2 originally. This is Pterodon. A lot of the guys in this family, these guys show up in Dragon Quest 2, I believe, too. Probably not this exact monster, but a spin-off of them exists in Dragon Quest 2 in the Cave Tyrone. I remember running into them. They've got a lot of, like, ice breath attacks that are absolutely brutal to deal with. Really good monsters, honestly. Wordle, another turtle that is also a dragon from Dragon Quest 3 originally. Wurtoise, a more powerful version of the Wordle. We got Crocaboogle-Doo, who is a new monster. Looks like a fun monster design for sure. This is going to be the first game he's in. Mandrake Major and his family from Dragon Quest V, including the Mandrake Marshal. Spitfire is going to be in this, and I actually got him in the demo. I was able to synthesize one of these guys. This is the first Dragon Quest Monsters game that he's going to be in. Chihuahua, which is a variant of the Spitfire. And then we got Heligator from Dragon Quest VIII. I remember running into these guys, I think it was like when you're in the ship. A lot of the water monsters in Dragon Quest VIII were really tough. Same with 7. And then Great Argon Lizard. Somebody on my last video, I think it was hoping the Great Argon Lizard was going to be in this game. So here you go, pal. He's in here. I got my Green Dragon, and you got your Great Argon Lizard. We can both live happy. He's originally from Dragon Quest VIII. And then the Haxorus, of course, had to be in here from Dragon Quest VI. And then the Axorus. Lumbering Lizard, these guys are rough in Dragon Quest X. The part we're actually in right now, my buddy Soldier First Class and I have been playing through Dragon Quest X Saturday mornings on stream. And yeah, we get absolutely wrecked if we encounter these guys. So we need to level up more before we try and take on one of these guys. They were in Joker 3, though. Previously localized as the Forest Dragon intact. I didn't know they showed up intact. Wyvern from Dragon Quest IV. The Dragon Riders from Dragon Quest IV. These, if you check out my top 11 Dragon Quest Monsters video, these guys are right up there. Love those guys. They're in 11 as well. Dread Dragon Dragooner. These guys are a spin-off of the Dragon Rider. They're in Dragon Quest XI originally, and this is their first appearance in a Monsters game. We've got Tortoceratops, which took me 3 tries to say properly, from Dragon Quest V. These guys are rough in Dragon Quest X as well. Caldragon. This is a new guy. I don't remember it being announced, but here it is. New monster design. Looks badass. Dracularge, who was from Dragon Quest VII originally. He's got fantastic... It's either him or a variant of him. Has an awesome moment in Dragon Quest Heroes 2, where there's like a giant kaiju battle. Then you got Draculard from Dragon Quest VII. Kodal from Dragon Quest Monsters. Let's see. Great Dragon. I love the look of these guys, too. Great Dragon from Dragon Quest V. And then we got the Black Dragon from Dragon Quest V. These guys originally from Dragon Quest X. Their first appearance in the West was Dragon Quest XI, however. The Liege Lizard. And then there's the Royal Reptile, who is even more badass, also from Dragon Quest X. I've ran into one of these guys in Dragon Quest X, but not the other. I think the Liege Lizard I ran into, but not the Royal Reptile. And then we got King Hydra from Dragon Quest III. Everybody remembers the King Hydra from Dragon Quest III, as well as Orochi. Super popular bosses there. Infernal Serpent, another boss, I believe, from Dragon Quest III. And Zenlong, who I think is the post-game dungeon boss in Dragon Quest III. I could be wrong, though. And then we got Shantak, who I have never seen before. I don't know. I played Dragon Quest Monsters 2, and I don't remember this guy. He's creepy looking. Rashavarek, I like the look of these guys. These guys are pretty cool. Super annoying to fight in like Dragon Quest 9, though. They're originally from Dragon Quest 4. Prostlas from Dragon Quest IV. I do remember this guy. Dimensional Dragon from Dragon Quest Monsters 2. This guy's an absolute badass. We've got Greynarl from Dragon Quest IX. One of the main, kind of main-ish characters from Dragon Quest IX. You can encounter him in the grottos in that game, too, if you get far enough into them. Barbarous, who is, I think Greynarl's like evil opposite, if I remember correctly, from Dragon Quest IX. Now we're on to the Beast family. We got Platypunk. Of course he was going to be in here. Splatapunk. And then we got Greater Platypunk. So this guy was from Caravan Hearts. I do not remember ever seeing him until the promotion material for this game. But I love this bastard, man. I love the Platypunks, and to see them get their own, like, king style or just jumbo-looking style guy warms my heart. I love this guy. I'm probably going to try and get him in my party. And then my favorite of the newer Dragon Quest monsters, we got the Sham Hatwitch family. We got Sham Hatwitch from Dragon Quest X and Ham Shamwitch from Dragon Quest X. I just love these guys so much. In Dragon Quest X, my subclass is, I've got like a Monster Tamer subclass, or Item Master, I guess it's called, and I have a Sham Hat Witch as my monster, so I just love these guys so much. And then Fat Rat from Dragon Quest II, Mischievous Mole from Dragon Quest IV, Maniacal Mole from Dragon Quest Joker 2. I have never seen this guy before. Like I said, I wasn't a big Joker fan. I beat the first Joker game, and I played a bit of Joker 2, but maybe someday I'll get back and actually play all the way through Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 2. Hammerhood, love these guys. And they're originally from Dragon Quest V. I didn't know that. Candy Cat from Dragon Quest VIII. I did know these guys were from Dragon Quest VIII. Absolute classics. The Jail Cat right up there with them. Bunnycorn and Spiked Hair from Dragon Quest III. These guys were always pretty tough because they could put you to sleep. I remember they were pretty annoying. We got the Bunnycorn Queen from Dragon Quest X. I don't think I've ran into one of these guys yet in Dragon Quest X. By the way, I'm going to be doing a video on Dragon Quest X and how you can and should play the game, because it is available in English, you guys. So look forward to that. Feral Ball. I hate these guys from Dragon Quest VI. There's a lot of monsters I'm not a big fan of in Dragon Quest VI, and these guys are one of them. Same with Rotten Cotton, same thing. They were very frequent in Dragon Quest Monsters 2, I remember, as well. Hawkman, or Gargoyle, I think they're called in some of the games, from Dragon Quest 2. They're going to be in here. They were in Joker 3. Ant Guzzler is going to be in here from Dragon Quest 3. Kind of a lame monster, honestly. Mouse Flap, I just love the design of these little guys. And then Rat Attack, both from Dragon Quest 4. This game is the first Monsters game they've ever been in, which is kind of hard to believe, actually. We've got Pan Piper from Dragon Quest 8. We've got Guardvark from Dragon Quest 6. These guys are all over the place in Dragon Quest 10. And then, oh, my favorite of the Beast family are the Orcs. All the Orc variants. I love the Orcs from Dragon Quest 2, the Orc King from Dragon Quest 2. There's Orc Chieftains and stuff, but I don't know if that's confirmed for this game or not. I'm not seeing it here. The Vampire Cat, or the Catfly, as it's sometimes called, from Dragon Quest 3. The Boppin' Badger, he was my favorite guy from Dragon Quest 9, so I'm glad he's in here. And they got a new guy that looks kind of like a variant of the Boppin' Badger, or like an evolution, if you will, of the Boppin' Badger. I can't remember his name right now, but he looks like the old, like, Zatoichi looking guy. Yeah, we'll probably come across him here. Great Saber Cub, of course, is going to be in this from Dragon Quest V. And then we got the Dark Saber Cub from Dragon Quest Monster Parade. That game come up again, man. I gotta look into that game. See what that game's all about. I've got, like, that Victory Road game on the Wii. I want to stream that at some point, too. I've never played that one. Great Saber Cat from Dragon Quest V. Of course he was going to be in here. Robber Rabbit from Dragon Quest X. Also showed up in Dragon Quest XI, of course. Meowgician from Dragon Quest VII. I love that those, like, old, like, magicians and, like, mage-looking enemies from, like, Dragon Quest I and stuff have been overtaken by these Meowgicians instead in, like, the newer games. I just love the look of the Meowgicians over those. And then we got the Mogus or the Whiskmancer from Dragon Quest X. And this game is the first game, Monsters game that it's going to be appearing in. This monster was first localized as Whiskmancer in Dragon Quest of the Stars. It then later acquired the name of Mogus. It's unknown which name will be used, as both came from mobile games. Ah, gotcha. And then we got the Napper, or Napier, or however you want to pronounce that. I've fought quite a few of these guys in Dragon Quest X. They were also in Monsters 2 on the 3DS, the 3DS remake. Cross-Eye, these guys I think are supposed to be like a bugbear or something, or an owlbear, I'm not too sure, but they're from Dragon Quest V, I remember them. And Loon Yetik from Dragon Quest V. Sunset Sultan, not a big fan of these guys. These guys are a variant of a monster I've seen before, but this is the first game that the Sunset Sultan in particular is going to be in. And then, of course, some of my... Oh, I love these guys in the Beast family as well. The Were-Tiger, I just absolutely love these guys from Dragon Quest IV. We got the Cheater from Dragon Quest IV. We've got the Powie Yowie. I really hope the Otter variant's going to be in here from Dragon Quest XI, because I love those guys. I hope they're going to be in here. But yeah, we got the Powie Yowies from Dragon Quest IV. We got the Sweaty Yetis from Dragon Quest IV. We got Tusketeer from Dragon Quest IV. I'm a huge Dragon Quest IV fan, so of course this game, taking place before and during Dragon Quest IV, is going to have a lot of great monsters that we all loved from Dragon Quest IV. Rhinoceros is in there as well. Jackal, these guys are rough, man. Especially in Dragon Quest 8 and 9. They were originally from 6. Jowler from Dragon Quest V. This guy appears basically as a boss in Dragon Quest 11 as well. Unicorn from Dragon Quest 6. Ursa Major and Ursa Mega from Dragon Quest 3. I remember them mostly as Darth Bear in Dragon Quest 3. I don't know. I love the name Darth Bear because it's like so dumb but so good at the same time. Hellion or Hellion from Dragon Quest 4. Yeah, like it says, first monsters appearance. This game, surprisingly, like, really, right? Like, these guys are super common, especially in the Dragon Quest Heroes games. They're everywhere in those games. Not So Macho from Dragon Quest 7. I love those guys. They're sometimes called Dumbira. And then Mucho Macho from Dragon Quest 7 as well. Let's see. Giraffe Master from Dragon Quest 10. I've not run into one of these guys before. He looks pretty creepy. Mohawker. I remember him from Dragon Quest 8. I think he was like a boss. Him and another guy were like tag teamed as a boss. Here's the guy I was talking about when I was talking about the Boppin' Badger. The Ronin Raccoon. This guy is a new monster. First appearance is this game, and he looks fantastic. I love the look of this guy. I'm also a fan of like those old samurai movies like Zatoichi, and that's totally what he is. He's totally like a reference to like Zatoichi, the blind swordsman. We got the Missing Links from Dragon Quest 7. These guys are always hard in the Dragon Quest games. Tantamount and Equinox from Dragon Quest 9. These guys were bosses, grotto bosses in Dragon Quest 9. And then we got Don Mole from Dragon Quest 8. How can you forget Don Mole? Lieutenant Gorham Hogg. So these guys, these next few are very surprising that they're in this game. These are like main boss characters from Dragon Quest 9. I'm super surprised that they're in this game. I know there's going to be a lot of people excited to be able to have these guys. But yeah, they do have the asterisks. So remember, there's a slight chance these guys aren't 100% in. But the fact that they're mentioned is piquing my interest. So yeah, we got Lieutenant Gorham Hogg. We've got Lieutenant Gorsby Purvis, also from Dragon Quest 9. This one has no asterisk, so he's definitely in the game. So that's pretty cool. On to the Nature family. We've got the Killer Pillar, super annoying guys, because they'll paralyze the shit out of you. Originally in Dragon Quest 3. Wobergini from Dragon Quest 7. What a weird design. I've never really liked these monsters. And then we got Aubergini from Dragon Quest 7 as well. Like, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be like eggplants or something. I could be wrong. And then we got the Stark Raven from Dragon Quest 3. I love these guys. I don't know why. They're just cool. It always reminds me of like Edgar Allan Poe and stuff. And then, okay, so these monsters were originally in Dragon Quest 10. And I love all of them in there. They're supposed to be like puffballs, but the one he's not in here. So the one I know the most, because my character in Dragon Quest 10 is a Weddy, and the ones that appear in the Weddy country are like the lemon-looking dudes. So yeah, they look like a bunch of lemons with like blue jeans on, but these ones kind of look like fluff balls with diapers on. But this is Mighty Oak. This Tuffy Tot was also originally in Dragon Quest X, but this is the first game that he's going to be in as a Monsters game. Cruel Cumber, my buddy Soldier First Class loves the Cruel Cumber. I love them too, honestly. I love how when you beat them, their spear flies up into the air and then like impales them. They just like pass out and then impale themselves by accident. Scourgetty. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but also from Dragon Quest 9. And then we got Ornery Onion from Dragon Quest 6. This is another family of monsters from Dragon Quest 6 that I just do not like. Brimstone Bulb, Dragon Quest 6. Blood Garriger, I'm not even sure, from Dragon Quest 5. I do remember those guys. I don't remember much about them. They didn't really impress me. Calamari Kid, I know that's a favorite of many. I love how in like, I think it's just like Dragon Quest 10 and 11. Maybe in 9, I'm not sure. But if you, in battle, if you leave them like if you take forever to take your turn, they're just like drawing stuff in the sand with their little rattle and stuff. I think that's the cutest shit ever. And then we got the Octopod from Dragon Quest X. I didn't know 10 was the first one that had that, but I do remember running into them a lot in 10, but I thought they would have been earlier in the series. Toady from Dragon Quest III, as well as Overtoad from Dragon Quest III. Both of those have never been in a Monsters game before? Seriously? That's crazy. For some reason I remember them being in them before. Mad Mollusk from Dragon Quest VI. That's just a hideous monster. I don't like those guys at all. Another monster from Dragon Quest VI I just didn't like. Capsicum from Dragon Quest VIII. Two peppers in like a shish kebab form. Then we got Weaken Beacon from Dragon Quest III. Bullfinch from Dragon Quest IV. I kind of like these guys quite a bit. Cyclown from Dragon Quest IV. Bantamweight, another classic Dragon Quest monster, originally from Dragon Quest IV. We got the Bagworm from Dragon Quest IV. We've got Hades Condor from Dragon Quest III. And then we got Garuda, who's like, I think, the more powerful version of the Hades Condor from Dragon Quest III. We got Phoenix from Dragon Quest III as well. Puffy Poise. I don't remember this guy, but apparently he was in Dragon Quest Monsters 2. I think he was maybe the remake, but yeah, I don't remember that guy at all. Chimera, of course, is a classic all the way back in the original Dragon Quest. You got Cosmic Chimera, and then you got Cactoball from Dragon Quest V. Armored Scorpion from Dragon Quest IV, although you could argue that they were in Dragon Quest 1, but they look completely different and had a different name. They're like Metal Scorpion or something. Metal Scorpion! Speaking of Metal Scorpion, actually, I think, yeah, I don't know. I swear these guys were in Dragon Quest 1. They just looked like regular scorpions. But anyways, these guys are both from Dragon Quest 4. Beanie Meanie from Dragon Quest Monsters. I remember these guys from the original Dragon Quest Monsters. Leafy Larkin from Dragon Quest 9 and their brothers. Shivery Shrubbery also from Dragon Quest 9. I love how Shivery Shrubbery kind of doubles. It's like a leaf, but it also kind of doubles almost as a snowflake. Tree Feller from Dragon Quest 6. I love these guys, especially in Dragon Quest 10. They just look so good in that game. Suckling Ocker from Dragon Quest 5. I don't even remember those guys. I imagine you run into them when you're sailing around. Scissor Beetle from Dragon Quest 4. Super bland monster, but you gotta have him in there. Odd Cobb. This is the first game he was in as well. I had one in the demo, actually. So I got to mess around with Odd Cobb. He's actually a pretty decent monster, despite him not looking all that great. Pogo and Penguin from Dragon Quest 7's in here. We've got Whipbird from the original Dragon Quest Monsters. Yeah, weird looking dude. I honestly think he's from the Terry's Wonderland remake, but I could be wrong. Scornet from Dragon Quest 3. This is his first Monsters game that he's appearing in, which is kind of weird. Firebird from Dragon Quest 5. Yeah, I remember him being in Dragon Quest Monsters 1 for sure. And then Highbird from Dragon Quest 5. We've got Treeface from Dragon Quest 2. These guys are super popular monster. They've been around forever. They're in like pretty much every spin-off as well. Griffin from Dragon Quest 6. Kind of looks like Jamiris. Part of that kind of line there. Digster from the original Dragon Quest Monsters. I don't remember this guy in Dragon Quest Monsters, I gotta say. Might be Terry's Wonderland. I'm not too sure. Coralossus from Dragon Quest 11. I love these guys. Again, if you watch my top 11 Dragon Quest Monsters video, this guy was, I think he was like an honorable mention, or he was in there. But, and then we got Whale Mage from Dragon Quest Monsters 2. I don't remember this guy either, but he looks pretty cool, actually. I kind of like the look of him. King Squid from Dragon Quest 3. We've got Tentacular from Dragon Quest 3 as well. Gripevine from Dragon Quest Monsters. Don't remember this guy, but he is terrifying looking. Prism Peacock. I didn't realize Prism Peacock was originally from Dragon Quest Monsters, but I remember these guys being some of the best monsters to grind on in Dragon Quest 7 back in the day. And then Lieutenant Hootingham Gore from Dragon Quest 9, along with those previous generals or whatever from Dragon Quest 9. This guy is also speculated to be in it. And then we're on to the Material family. So we got Bag of Laughs, of course, and Goody Bag from Dragon Quest 3. Bag of Sweets from Dragon Quest X. I haven't encountered one of these guys yet in Dragon Quest X, but this guy looks pretty cool. Nice evolution of the goodie bag, though, for sure. Lucky Bag from Terry's Wonderland 3. I have encountered one of those guys. Mud Mannequin from Dragon Quest 2. I hate these guys so much, man. They just status affect the crap out of you. We got Sack Squatch, which is like a bag of, I don't know, sand or something. I think it's like a sandbag. It's from Dragon Quest 9, but I remember it mostly from the Dragon Quest 2 remake on 3DS. Lampling from Dragon Quest 11. This is his first monster's appearance. Luminous Lampling, same thing. Eraser Blade. I kind of like these guys from Dragon Quest 4. They're kind of cool looking dudes. Bambooligan from Dragon Quest X. I love the design of Bambooligan in Dragon Quest X, and I loved him in Dragon Quest Monsters 2 as well. We got the Golem, of course, absolute classic from Dragon Quest 1, and then Stone Golem also from there. Chocolate Golem from the Dragon Quest Monsters 2 3DS remake. I don't remember him in that game. I wonder if he was like an event thing or something, but he looks pretty cool. Rock Bomb from Dragon Quest 3, as well as the Bomb Boulder from Dragon Quest 5. The Mecha Mina, dude, all these, like Clockwork Cuckoo, like all these birds, I hate so much. These are like one of my most hated monsters in Dragon Quest. Especially in games like Dragon Quest 10 and 11, where they're just like sitting there, because it just looks like a metal ball just on the field, and then you walk by and it like pops up and chases you, and the next thing you know, you're in a battle with these things. And they can be pretty tanky. We got Mudraker from Dragon Quest V, as well as Admirer from the same game. Fromage Fray. I love this guy in Dragon Quest X. So, right when you get into the new continent in version 2 of Dragon Quest X, like after you beat the original Dragon Quest X, these are one of the first monsters you encounter, and I just love the look of these little guys. Cumulus and Freezing Fog from Dragon Quest III, and then, of course, Hell Nino as well. Bongo Drongo from Dragon Quest XI. You would have seen him in the demo for sure in the Dark Prince. Bongo Fandango from Dragon Quest XI is speculated to be in here as well. String Fella from Dragon Quest X is going to be in here. I always thought this guy was kind of creepy because he was kind of like a noose, but I never noticed the bead on him, so he looks less creepy now, but he's still kind of creepy. Let's see. Dancing Flame and Frostburn from Dragon Quest II. Frostburns were a nightmare in Dragon Quest II because they could always cast those instant kill spells when you were in Roan. Gazmon. That is a new one. I haven't run into one of those. Apparently the first appearance was Dragon Quest X. I haven't run into one of those guys yet. Flying Saucers. These guys suck ass. Apparently the first appearance was in Dragon Quest Monsters 2, but I remember them in Dragon Quest 9, and they're definitely in the demo of the Dark Prince, because I had one for a split second there. Horrifying Saucers, this is their first game that they're appearing in. Disfigurine from Dragon Quest X, don't remember this guy, he looks terrifying. Exoskeleton from Dragon Quest XI, this is his first Monsters game. Spitnik from Dragon Quest VIII. And then we got Morning Moon from Dragon Quest X. I haven't run into one of those yet. Foo Dog, of course, from Dragon Quest IV. You run into them in the demo of the Dark Prince as well. And then Abracadabrador from Dragon Quest IV as well. And King Foo Dog from Dragon Quest X, who's just like a bigger, more powerful version of the Foo Dogs. Canabox from Dragon Quest III, as well as Mimics from Dragon Quest III, and Pandora's Box from Dragon Quest III. All the Mimic family looks like it's going to be here. We've got Prancing Pillar from Dragon Quest VII. Those guys are kind of lame in my opinion, but they're here if you like them. Fern Fiend and Mag Malice from Dragon Quest III are highly speculated to be in here. So anyone that knows the history of Dragon Quest III, and it taking place before Dragon Quest 1, the theory, I don't even think it's a fan theory anymore at this point, but the theory is that these guys were golems before golems were formed, so that's why these guys only really appear in like Dragon Quest 3, and then in the later ones, they're full-fledged golems, and then the hand part branches off to become like the Muddy Hand family. And then we got Pocus Puppet from Dragon Quest 4, and the Hunter Mechs from Dragon Quest 3, and Killing Machine. We've got the Sculptress from Dragon Quest 6, There's a variant of them called Garth Goyle. I think that's the most hilarious name ever. I think the Garth Goyle are the purple ones. And then Avian Android. That is a new monster. It looks pretty freaking cool. It actually honestly looks like somebody tried to make like an android or a robot version of like Ramia. So that's pretty cool. It's a new monster to this game. Iron Maiden from Dragon Quest XI. This is the first monsters game it's appearing in. And Living Statue from Dragon Quest III is going to be in here, as well as Great Keeper from Dragon Quest III. Metal Dragon from Dragon Quest V is going to be in here. That guy was a nightmare at times in Dragon Quest XI. As well as Mechano Worm from Dragon Quest V. We got the Overkilling Machine from Dragon Quest VI. Some of the best monster designs from Dragon Quest VI are these guys here. And the Uber Killing Machine from Dragon Quest VI. Balheeb from Dragon Quest V. These guys are usually pretty tough as well. And then Bilha from Dragon Quest V as well. Into the Undead / Zombie family, we've got Ghost, of course. Saw him in the demo, as well as Fightgeist. I think it's supposed to be Frightgeist from Dragon Quest I. Wax Murderer from Dragon Quest V, another popular monster. And, of course, the Skeleton's got to be in here from Dragon Quest I. Skeleton Soldier, as well as Skelerton. I don't know why it's spelled like that. Maybe that's what he's called. But Dragon Quest IV, and this is the first Monsters game that he's going to be in. Stump Chump from Dragon Quest IV, absolute classic right there, as well as Fungool from Dragon Quest III. Morphine Mushroom from Dragon Quest III. I hate these guys so much. They're absolute status effect monsters that'll just mess you up and ruin your day. Putrefido. I remember these guys. They were called Putrepup back in Dragon Quest Monsters 1, I believe. Skipper. I remember these guys from Dragon Quest 8. I like these guys. Muddy Hand from Dragon Quest 2. Bloody Hand also from Dragon Quest 2. Absolute classic monsters. They're in pretty much every game now. Fire Spirit from Dragon Quest 4. Photocopier, also Dragon Quest 4. And Zamtasm from Dragon Quest 10. We got Crabbid, another one of my favorite Dragon Quest monsters. Super annoying if you're like me and you only ever use physical attackers. These guys are pretty much only susceptible to magic, and they buff the crap out of themselves all the time. But yeah, he's going to be in here. Shadow from Dragon Quest 3, as well as Silhouette from Dragon Quest 3 is going to be in here. Scarfish from Dragon Quest 7. He's in here. Soft Serve Spook from Dragon Quest X is going to be in here. Absolutely love this guy. Actually, secretly kind of hate him too, because you can't actually see him. So a lot of the monsters in Dragon Quest X that are ghosts, you can't actually see. So it almost acts as like a random encounter. You'll be walking through the cave. All of a sudden, you're in a battle with these guys. You don't see the monster on screen. But if you're one of the monster taming job classes, then you can actually see them, which is kind of a cool little feature. But I like these guys more when I played the Dragon Quest Monsters 2 remake. They're in the cave with Beavern. Speaking of which, I haven't seen Beavern. My boy Beavern better be in this game. I love that guy so much. Chocolate Wisp, Dragon Quest X as well. This is his first appearance in a Monsters game. Was previously localized as Smooth Chalkster in Dragon Quest of the Stars. Droll Drone. Not a big fan of the Droll family, but there are people who really like them. From Dragon Quest 1 originally, Walking Corpse. How can we forget the Hork Pit in Dragon Quest 2? Corpsicle, also from Dragon Quest 6. And then we got Mommy Boy from Dragon Quest 3. Anyone who's tried to steal the treasure of the pyramid in Dragon Quest 3 is very familiar with these guys. Drooling Ghoul, Dragon Quest 4. Not one of my favorite monster designs. Kind of a, I don't know, lame design to me. And then Frolicker, also from Dragon Quest 4. We got Monologue from Dragon Quest Monsters. Then we got the Skull Rider from Dragon Quest 6. This is a really good design from Dragon Quest 6, honestly. Dead Resident from Dragon Quest 6. I do like this guy from Dragon Quest 6 as well as Marrow Escapee. Restless Armor from Dragon Quest 3, as well as Sir Rose Garden from Dragon Quest 4. If you remember, Rose Garden was the guy that guarded Rose in Rose Hill at the top of her tower there. Tiscum Bombulator from Dragon Quest 7. I remember those guys and encountering them in all the worst places where you do not want to be encountering them. King Kelp from Dragon Quest 8. as well as Tatari from Dragon Quest X, who's kind of a spin-off of the King Kelp. I haven't run into a Tatari in Dragon Quest X. This is the first Monsters game that he's going to be in, so... Grinferno from Dragon Quest Monsters 2 is going to be in here. I don't remember this guy, but, you know, he might have been a boss or something. I don't really remember. Phantom Fencer from Dragon Quest 8. I love the design of the Phantom Fencer, and then we got Phantom Swordsman as well. Bone Leader. I did not realize he was originally in Dragon Quest X, but I love these guys in Dragon Quest X. They drop some good loot. You can get like some good boomerangs and stuff from them. Soul Spawn from Dragon Quest V. I hate these guys. They're status effecty, and they are tough to take down as well. They're hard to hit. Hellspawn's right up there from Dragon Quest IV. Hocus Poker from Dragon Quest III. And then we got the Hellbound Horror and the Hellbound Hair Razor, both from Dragon Quest X. So I just recently encountered one of these guys in Dragon Quest X as well, in version 2. Death Maestro from Dragon Quest X. One of my favorite monster designs, honestly, from Dragon Quest X is the Hell Maestro, or the Death Maestro, sorry. They're really, really cool looking monster. And then we got Grotworm from Dragon Quest VII. I don't remember this guy at all, but yeah. I'm going to have to replay Dragon Quest VII because he looks really freaking cool. And let's go to Skeleton Swordsman from Dragon Quest III. I don't know what it is with all these skeletons and like the multi-arm monsters, but I love them all. Grim Rider, like this guy from Dragon Quest IV. Bone Baron, Dragon Quest IV. We've got Dullahan from Dragon Quest VIII, and then kind of the natural evolution from him, the Headless Horseman, who was in Dragon Quest XI. That guy's a nasty... These guys are like nasty bosses in Infinity Strash as well. And then we got Fright Knight from Dragon Quest VII. This is the first boss from Dragon Quest VII you fight, actually. And then Night Knight, Dragon Quest VII. White Knight from Dragon Quest VIII. Another memorable boss fight in the series. And then Tortured Soul. Demon at Arms from Dragon Quest VI. I really like the design of this guy, and he's super douchey to fight against because he can attack you multiple times per turn. Bones of Baramos from Dragon Quest III. Then we got Bishop Lodja from Dragon Quest V is showing up. Awesome. Demon Family. We got Draki. Okay, so there's a fat boy Draki. I can't remember the name, but I really hope he's going to be in this game because we got our fat boy Platypunk, and now I really hope the fat boy Draki is in here. We got Draki from Dragon Quest I. This was my original favorite monster of all time. I remember as a kid, when I found this little guy, I just fell in love on the NES. Dracolite and Drachima, all from Dragon Quest I. Absolute classics. The Imps from Dragon Quest III. And then we got Mini Demon Dragon Quest III. Teeny Sanguini from Dragon Quest IX. One of the first, if not the first monster you encounter in Dragon Quest IX. Lips from Dragon Quest VI. Absolutely hate these guys. They status affect the crap out of you, and they just look terrible. But they have some comedic moments in like Dragon Quest XI and stuff like that. You got Kisser as well. Gremlin from Dragon Quest II. Don't really like these guys either, but they are kind of cute. You got to give it to them. Sea Urchin from Dragon Quest VIII. I remember these guys being pretty tough. Like I said, I remember all the water monsters being really tough in Dragon Quest VIII. Dancing Devil from Dragon Quest VIII is in here. Super annoying. He almost is like the Mud Mannequin, but like maybe worse. But at least he's kind of funny, so he's got that going for him. Winky from Dragon Quest IV. These guys will dazzle the crap out of you, unfortunately. And then you got Peeper from Dragon Quest IV as well. And then Gander, who's like a new spin-off or variant of the Winky family, I guess. This game is the first game that he's in. We got Pixie, who's a cool monster design from Dragon Quest IV, as well as Picayune from Dragon Quest IV. Leary Lout from Dragon Quest VI. Lunatic from Dragon Quest I. Don't like these guys. They creep me out, man. And then we got Bodkin Archers. I hate these guys so much, dude. Probably my most hated Dragon Quest monster. Mainly because they're always sneaky little bastards. And they have status effect abilities, and I just, yeah, don't like them. I think it all honestly stems from Dragon Quest, one of the Builders games. I remember they're super annoying to fight in. But yeah, Bodkin Archers and Dragon Quest Heroes, they're super annoying to fight in as well. Like Heroes 2 anyways. They're originally from Dragon Quest 4. In Dragon Quest 11, they give them like a little Yoda voice, and they talk like Yoda, which almost saves them for me, but I still hate them so much. Blinkster from Dragon Quest 4. These guys can be tough if you're not prepared when you run into these guys. Same with Jinxter. You got the Merman from Dragon Quest 3 in there. Love the design of the Merman. Lump Wizard, Dragon Quest 3, and Lump Shaman, also from Dragon Quest 3. Cloud Surfer from Dragon Quest 6, and this is the first Monsters game he's going to be in. And then Low Jinx from Dragon Quest 6. This is also his first game, Monsters game. Grim Keeper from Dragon Quest 4 is in here. I love the design of this guy. They started off the trailer for Dragon Quest Monsters 3 The Dark Prince showing this guy showing up in town. These guys just look absolutely sinister and are awesome. It's an awesome monster design. Belith, which is just like an evolution of the Grim Keeper from Dragon Quest 4. Succubat from Dragon Quest 11. Wizard from Dragon Quest 4. These guys are usually show up as like boss fights in the early game. Sorrow's Pawn is literally, I think, the first boss fight from Dragon Quest 4. Hood from Dragon Quest 3, basically Kandar, or whatever his name was in Dragon Quest 3. Jugular Joker from Dragon Quest 6. This guy's a pretty cool design from Dragon Quest 6. This is the first Monsters game he's going to be in. I can't believe this is the first Monsters game that Hood's going to be in, but he's very, like, human looking, so it kind of makes sense. The Well Wisher, which is the Well Mimic. I always thought the Well Mimic started in Dragon Quest 7, but obviously I'm wrong. This guy's originally from Dragon Quest 6. Cannon Brawler. So this guy is originally from this game. He looks pretty cool, actually. It looks like the cannonball has, like, an eye. So I'm interested in running into this guy. I haven't run into him in the demo. He might be in there, but I haven't seen him. Goobonts from Dragon Quest V. So I do not like these weird alien monsters in Dragon Quest. They're in Dragon Quest V. I know for a fact they're in Dragon Quest 11. I hated them in Dragon Quest 11. They were tough. They're tough in Dragon Quest 10 too, honestly. But yeah, they're in here. Blood Bonnet. And then Hooper Trooper from Dragon Quest 10. Booga is a variant of these guys. So they're going to be in this game as their first Monsters game. Sweet Smodgin is an original monster to this game. He looks pretty cool and sinister. I imagine he's going to be in, because that one circle of Nadiria is all like sweets and stuff. He's probably going to be in there. Flamethrower from Dragon Quest 4. These guys can be pretty tough to fight. Rector from Dragon Quest 2. Those guys are definitely tough to fight. They can also revive their teammates, which is always a pain. But might be handy in your party, because then you can revive your teammates. Toger from Dragon Quest 7. I do not remember this guy, but this is going to be the first Monsters game that he's going to be in. Knight Errant from Dragon Quest 1. Heck yeah. So these guys are usually overwritten and replaced by the... Usually, yeah, these guys, like Restless Armor and stuff like that. Usually you get one or the other. So yeah, he was a Dragon Quest 1 boss. Knight Errant. Either that or Knight Abhorrent was the boss. I can't remember which one. But either way, they're both in here, which is fantastic. Because, like I said, you either get one group or the other. We got the Ogre from Dragon Quest 4. These guys are pretty cool looking. Swinger from Dragon Quest 4. And Hyper Animon from Dragon Quest V. I remember those guys being pretty tough. And then they got Hyperthermion from Dragon Quest V. Sylvopithecus from Dragon Quest 2. These guys are a nightmare to fight because they've got one-hit kill abilities. And I think they crit a lot too, honestly. I can't remember. And then Pazuzu, who's one of the bosses. One of the final bosses in Dragon Quest 2. Escudogre. This guy I do not like. These guys show up in Dragon Quest 10 everywhere. It's super annoying to fight because they're tanky as heck. Boss Troll from Dragon Quest 3. Love all the trolls in Dragon Quest. We got Stout Troll as well. Harmer from Dragon Quest 6. This is a pretty good design from Dragon Quest 6, I must admit. Alarmer from Dragon Quest 7. And then we got Centaur from Dragon Quest 6. Not really digging the look of this guy. Cyclops from Dragon Quest 2. This guy, I love the Cyclops and the Gigantus and all those guys from Dragon Quest 2. We got Atlas, who's one of the final bosses in Dragon Quest 2. Absolutely love those guys. Speaking of one of the final bosses of Dragon Quest 2, we got we've got Belial here, who's also one of the final bosses, and he spawned the whole desert demon / archdemon monster type. So they're going to be in here, which is fantastic. Then you got Time Being from Dragon Quest VII. I don't remember him either, but he's probably in there. Mucifer from Dragon Quest IV. Barbados from Dragon Quest IV. These guys are absolute classic monsters as well. Super powerful magic users. Amon from Dragon Quest IV. The final boss, if you play the post-game of Dragon Quest IV. That guy's tough as nails, man. And then we got the Question Mark family. These are usually bosses in the game. So we've got the Dragon Lord from Dragon Quest I. We've got Dragon Lord's true form for Dragon Quest I. I'm glad they're both in here. And then you got God of Destruction, Malroth, sorry, God of Destruction from Dragon Quest II, of course. Baramos is, of course, appearing in here. I love that doofy-looking guy. And we got Archfiend Zoma from Dragon Quest III. Absolutely love this guy as well. Super powerful. And then we're going to actually have Sorrow the Manslayer. So I don't know how they're going to work this into the story. I guess they won't have to, because it's like going to be a synthesis, hard to acquire monster. But yeah, it doesn't really make sense because you're playing as Sorrow, but you're going to be able to use Sorrow the Manslayer as a monster. So it's like I can't be too mad because this is like my favorite one of my favorite boss monsters of all time, if not my favorite Dragon Quest boss of all time. So as much as it probably doesn't make sense, it's still cool that we're going to be able to use him. And then we got Estark from Dragon Quest IV, of course. Grandmaster Nimzo from Dragon Quest V. And we got Murdoch from Dragon Quest VI, as well as Archfiend Mortimer from Dragon Quest VI as well. Rapthorn, God of Darkness from Dragon Quest VIII. Absolutely love that big boy. And then we got Nelgel, or Nurgle, from Dragon Quest X. In his final form, the Nether Fiend, who is absolutely badass, and the boss fight was incredible. And then we got the Uber Babe Crystalinda from Dragon Quest XI. Jasper Unbound, also from Dragon Quest XI. And then Kalasmos, the Dark One, from Dragon Quest XI. Wasn't really expecting him. That's pretty cool that he's in here. Lord of Drovians from Dragon Quest VIII is going to be in here, which is pretty awesome. He was also in Joker 1. Okay. The Almighty, so you can have literal God in your party. He was from Dragon Quest VII. Ramia from Dragon Quest III is going to be in here. Or speculated to be in here, of course. And then, of course, you got Fluffy and Fizz. Fluffy from the original Dragon Quest monsters. He was Wadabu. He was called Wadabu in the original translation. And then you got Fizzy from this game, who is a new variant of Fluffy, basically. And the Zenith Dragon from Dragon Quest IV. Dude, I've never got the Zenith Dragon in any of my... Here, let me move my face here so that you guys can see him in all his glory. Look at that shit, man. I've never gotten the Zenith Dragon in any of the Monsters games. He's in Caravan Heart, apparently. But yeah, he's from Dragon Quest IV as his first appearance. He's in, like, the entire Zenithian trilogy. Dolph the Destroyer is a new monster that appears in this game. That's Sorrow's half-brother, I believe. One of the main villains of this game. So that's cool. And then we got Randolphal the Tyrant, Master of Monster Kind. So this is Sorrow's dad. Probably the final boss of this game. And that's it. That's all of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been a fairly longer video. I'm going to cut down as much as I can, but honestly, if you want to see all the monsters, be sure to go through it. Again, if you guys enjoy these videos, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn notifications to all so you don't miss the next one. And you can also check me out on Twitch at least 3 nights per week, twitch.tv/Dookie03. I've been replaying Dragon Quest IV in preparation for Dragon Quest Monsters 3, The Dark Prince. Saturday mornings, we try to play Dragon Quest X on stream too, so if you want to check out that game, you can check us out on Saturday mornings as well. Twitch.tv/Dookie03. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.